there is a bridge being built in front of you that I'm hearing is provided to you. You haven't had to really build this bridge too much on your own. I'm hearing for some of you, it kind of has just appeared. Now, for some of you, this may be physical, okay? For some of you, this may be an actual, like, oh, I can get from here to there in a way that I wasn't really able to before. And there's a bit more clarity. But for others of you, this is purely energetic, right? There's a lot of incredibly creative feminine energy here. And like, I have a lot of cards from the archetypes deck down in front of me, and it kind of just happened that way. I actually intended on this being a full tarot reading, and I might pull tarot, I might not, but this is a really big message that I just had to get out. There's a veil being pulled back on the creative feminine energy within you that you are making a promise to. It's like you're meeting this version of yourself for a new time. And I'm seeing this figure in front of you that also has been kind of waiting for this version of you to emerge. Okay. However, collective, there's still at the anchor of the deck here, I have the venom. There's still some poison in the well that is needing extraction and detoxification at this time. So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into what that might be. Welcome. My name is Astrid. I'm a psychic oracle and mentor, and this is The Sacred Gray. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dig into this a little bit. So what's very obvious here is that whatever this is, this agreement, like it's all happening within the self, within your own ability to create, right? And I'm hearing that you have great awareness of this venom, right? And how funny that underneath the venom is the nectar. It's almost as if, and this is very Venusian. This is very, like, I'm seeing the number 666. It's like that which you gain, nectar from. That's that which maybe activates you. Spirit is saying activates you is also, and I'm seeing like the devil card here, right? Because it's like it also in without moderation, without temperance, without temperament, it becomes engulfing in a way. If there's too much of any one thing, then it swallows you, right? And so here what I can see is this bridge to, I'm hearing a use of agency, an understanding of agency that is deeper and wider and grander and more ability to use. You're more able to use this agency than you ever have been because there's identity here. There's solid ground to stand on. Yes. So collective, we're going to kind of figure out, I guess, what we're finding here is, how do you anchor into the welcoming of this new version? And I want to also point out that, like, this card here, this is an incredibly powerful card. And alongside, the queen and the medallion, it's like whatever agreement you're making with this other, this new version of yourself, or this entity that you're meeting, it's huge, right? It's huge. Whatever it is that you're creating, what you're bringing manifest is huge. And I'm getting, what's funny too, is as I'm talking about this, there's distractions coming through. I'm getting a phone call. I can hear things going on in the environment around me. It's as if that devil energy, that venom wants to keep you from it. That is so interesting. Okay, so I am going to pull some tarot. I'm almost tempted to pull... Do we do Celtic Cross? Is that where we're going with this? Yes, I'm hearing yes. Okay. So if you're familiar with the archetypes deck, I'll just tell you what cards I have out here because these are really powerful, and maybe if in your own practice you can pull this out on your own. I have the Pilgrim. I never really am sure how to say this one. It's Aletheia. Okay. The Shadow, the medallion, the vow, the queen, the shaman, the self, the womb, the bridge. It's a lot of cards. They all just it just kind of happened. Okay. It just happened. The venom, and then under venom, the nectar. And then funny enough, you know, with all of this devil energy is the siren. Wow. I could just keep going. And then the gem under that and the heart. I could just keep going with that. But we're going to go ahead and get something, from the tarot here. It really does feel as if there's this energy of like, you know, the devil, like the devil, it's like what you take the deepest joy in that you can overindulge in. There's like a nugget of something in there. There's a nugget of wisdom in there, but it can also kind of consume you in a way. So there's like an element of danger to this that I can't really get past. Okay. So let's jump into the cross. And then there's this, and I'm feeling kind of my energy is raising. It's like, I can tell that one of the most important ways, or one of the most important things here is like the need to temper the energy. So there's this, kind of harnessing a direction, right? Harnessing a direction. It's like you have this thing that can be, you know, if overconsumed, right? It's lovely. It's a lovely energy. It's very sensual. It's very, you know, exciting and intoxicating, but it can also be your demise, right? So the need to kind of regulate the nervous system, I suppose, the need to slow down in an effort to direct energy is really important right now. Okay. Let's get some for the collective. Who am I talking to? It's for self. Queen of Swords. What's crossing her? The Page of Swords. Ooh, yeah. See, and there's that kind of like, Page of Swords always is like I always think of someone just like literally waving a sword around. It's kind of dangerous, right? It's fun and it's youthful, but it's a little bit dangerous. Recent past. 8 of Wands. There's that direction. Okay. Or the need for direction. Near future. Queen of Wands. What's beneath? King of Pentacles. What is above? What's crowning? Knight of Swords. There's more speed. Wow. So far, you know, we've got all the elements here. It's more swords, but we do have wands on both past and present. Beneath you, collective, I can see this urge. Oh, and then we have Judgment at the bottom of the deck. This card has been coming out like, I mean, it's been constant. Okay. So I can see this urge to like your primary desire, right? What you're holding on to in here is very much like, I want to fertilize. I want to stabilize what it is that I'm creating, this womb energy, right? I want to stabilize it. But then at the top of you, there's, you know, with the Knight of Swords and then the Page of Swords crossing you, it's like, you know, I can see you working to kind of slow down from that Page of Swords energy, but the Knight of Swords is still moving really fast, right? He's still going at a speed that could be seen as fairly dangerous, right? But then in the past, you know, looking at the 8 of Wands, it is a very, that is speed. That is a fast energy. And then the Queen of Wands, in your near future, it's like, well, I can see you harnessing this correctly, but I wonder, and we'll get some clarifier cards. Like, I wonder if the speed is still there. Okay. Especially with Judgment at the bottom of the deck, because Judgment is a pretty intense kind of energy here. Judgment can be very consuming. It reminds me of like, you know, it's thunder. It's like a thunderclap. Okay. Internal. Knight of Cups on the inside. External. 10 of Pentacles. I love it. Okay, cool. So you've got a supportive foundation here. Oof, that's good. Hopes and fears. Page of Cups. And then overall outcome. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Well, this isn't bad at all. This is good. Anchoring the deck, we've got the King of Wands, and then we do have the Lovers here poking out at the top of the deck. Definitely taking note of that. Well, we've got quite a bit of offering here. With the Page of Cups, in like hopes and fears, I can see that there is something, especially with the Queen of Wands, she's kind of looking up here at the Page of Cups. It's like, I can see that what it is that you want to bring manifest, that you are, being asked to anchor at this time is, it's an offering, right? Because I have internal, the Knight of Cups, external, the Ten of Pentacles, and then hopes and fears is the Page of Cups. It's like you almost feel that what you are offering or what you would like to offer is not mature enough. It's like, because it's younger than the Knight of Cups. Like, what you have, but you wonder if it's not ready yet. Okay, let's get our clarifier cards here. The external factors I really, really love for you, collective, as the Ten of Pentacles, because you are truly supported in that which you pursue at this time and that which you create at this time. Like, you've done so much work in building that foundation. And I can see that, if you have people around you, they are very much, I'm hearing like on your team here. Okay. And at the bottom of our clarifier deck, we do have the Sun. This is such beautiful energy. Okay. Let's get some clarification for the Queen of Swords. The World. Yeah. Big growth in the collective. Big growth. What's crossing? Page of Swords. Clarifier. The Hanged Man. Yeah. And then this is calling me back to this Page of Cups. It's like you... Yeah, and then the Eight of Wands here anchoring the deck. Maybe some of this energy, like, it's like you're aware of the speed, and it's like you want to kind of bring it to a pause, or you want to get it. You want to get it. It's like the Hanged Man. I'm seeing like the Hanged Man. I'm seeing the Hanged Man kind of like swinging, and you're like, can you just, like, you're waiting for him to stop swinging. You know what I mean? Let's get recent past. King of Cups in recent past, near future. Knight of Swords in the near future. So interesting. Okay, so that was what I was kind of wondering about and concerned about. If we're pulling the speed of this into the future. With the King of Cups as our clarifier for the recent past, I can see that this Eight of Wands energy was tempered. Oh, and then we have the Magician at the bottom. That's stunning. It's stunning. I mean, really. This fast moving energy, you approached it correctly, right? Spirit is celebrating you here with the King of Cups coming out. It's like, yeah, like you handled that right. You handled that well. You handled that maturely. You handled that. I'm hearing like trustworthy, trust. And that's great. Let's get beneath clarification for Knight of King of Pentacles. The Moon. Okay, and then what's on top? Knight of Swords. The Star. Wow, what's at the bottom? Four of Pentacles. Okay. Ooh. So you don't. Oh, okay. I want you to question something here, collective. There's this big why. Why do we have, with the Moon coming out here, why do you want what it is that you want? I want you to think about your goals right now, right? I want you to think about what you are manifesting at the time that you're watching this video. What are you manifesting and why? That's the big thing, right? That's the big thing, is why. The Moon here, I can see that, like, with the Eight of Wands, it's almost, and then the King of Cups, it's almost as if, things were moving so fast, and like you approached it from, this emotionally mature and balanced place, but it's like, is there perhaps like a level of overcompensation here? Okay. With the Star as a clarifier for the Knight of Swords, I can see that it is very important to you that you follow the path, right? That the Star is a deeply karmic card. And if you're here in my collective, then you are someone who probably, is following the path of their North Node. You are ferociously working in this life. You are dedicated to a kind of healing, that can only come through authenticity. Okay. And so even though we're moving really quickly, or even though we're moving, our intention is to move into one direction, but there may be something missing here. Let's get, we're going to kind of circle back to that, but the moon is kind of making me question, like, there's something going amiss here. We'll dig in a little bit deeper. Can I get a clarifier for the Knight of Cups here? Internal. Page of Swords. Yeah. Same as what's crossing you here. So, yeah, there needs to be a little bit more anchoring. It's like this Hanged Man energy. Like there's resistance to the time that it takes for him to gain that new perspective, right? You just want to go. Clarifier for the Ten of Pentacles. The Fool. Okay. And then Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Wow. So for me, what this is saying is that, like, I mean, it's a real double down on, like, you have what you need. You have everything that you need to take this new leap. You have everything that you need, but are you jumping as opposed to leaning? It might be time to lean in as opposed to just, like, dive in. Wow. We're going to pull this Ten of Pentacles out because that's just beautiful. Clarifier for the Page of Cups, please. The Six of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. And that, okay, so that's this is perhaps a fear of a cycle repetition. If you're worried about something that you are offering or something that you're creating not quite being ready yet, I wonder if you're looking back on maybe a time in the past when you have done this before and you didn't do it to the highest quality or to the greatest extent. Maybe it wasn't as successful as you would have liked. And so with the Six of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, it's like, you want to bring more maturity to this, but you're so excited to get it out, right? You want the roots to be deeper, but not enough time has passed. Okay. The resistance is because of and that's why I was curious, we're going to dig in, we're going to peel this back a little bit more, right? Because the resistance is this, I don't believe that it's egoic, but it is this need to provide. It is this need to stabilize. It is this, I'm hearing need to prove that, like, potentially, this time around is, like, different, or you're doing it right this time or whatever. But, like, and I can see you doing things different, right? Like, I can see you doing things right, but the speed, right? Okay, let's get into overall outcome, please. Clarifier for the Eight of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. I love that. Page of Cups at the bottom, Page of Pentacles poking out here. Let's get one more. Nine of Wands and Seven of Cups. Yeah, okay. This is beautiful. You got to slow down. I want to revisit some of these cards here. Again, with the Pilgrim, it's like you're really going pretty fast here. You really are. And so much has been revealed to you about things that you know. It's this very, like, deeply ethereal, and I'm hearing, like, the word trusting, like you trust a little bit more. You understand a little bit more. You can gather information in a way that is greater. I'm just going to pull from the bottom of this deck. Spirit is saying that there's more here. You can understand and trust information in a way that you haven't before. So in moving through all of this speed, it's like, but I know. And it's like, are you allowing time to integrate, right? The Queen, the Empress has to go through all of the queens to get to her seat, right? She has to embody all of the queens that came before her to come to her seat. And the shaman has to go through, I mean, the shaman's got to go through a lot to become the shaman, right? So it's like you're reaching for it, but this shadow here, I'm just noticing how I laid it down. The shadow here, I wonder, I wonder what you're basing, what's your why? Got the heart, the storm, the animal. Yeah, there's that activation of the subconscious. under the animal is the mystic. It's like this beautiful kind of understanding that, like, I know I can see the eye of the storm. I can see the eye of the storm, and I can see God and what God is doing. And it's a heart activation. It's a heart activation. The mystic, under the mystic, is the orphan and the underworld. Yes, this is an abandonment wound that we've been seeing here. The destroyer, moving on past it, and the seed under that, creating something from it. Harnessing your emotions for use, for creation, for good, right? We've got Eros and the offering, harnessing, and then the siren and the venom and the gem and the nectar. It's like with this Eros energy, it's like, the devil that right? How do you walk alongside the devil? Because duality is like, this is an inevitable part of our existence. So it's like, how do you walk alongside the devil without, while maintaining the same power, right? Oh, I'm thinking Lilith. My lady. Thinking Lilith here, how do you walk alongside that energy that can be so consuming with the same authority, the same power, the same gusto, as to not be taken advantage of? The one. Okay, so in that also, in the castle, yes. So that also makes me think that there's something about, for many of you, I think you may find that this is like manifesting within your home. There are people in your life that are kind of acting as they're really embodying that devil energy, right? There may be people in your life that are acting as that poison in the well. And, you can't control your circumstances, but you can maybe siphon how much poison you are consuming. I want to put these away and take a look at this is so many cards. I never pull this many cards, but Spirit said just to pull from the bottom of the deck until I was done. So as you're meeting this version of yourself that is creating this beautiful, and bringing you these 9 cups, right? There's this understanding that, the people around you, even though there's, all of this support under you, there is also this kind of this, I'm seeing that bridge again. There's the bridge that you're building, and then there's the bridges that already exist. And some of those bridges are dilapidated. Some of those bridges need to fall, but our 3D reality doesn't always, our 3D reality, sometimes, and this is where the magician comes in, because we have to get resourceful with creating alignment and follow through in our 3D reality to, that which we are creating, what our potential says, and what is going on in our 4, 5, 6 day, whatever, however you choose to think about it, right? What's going on in the ether, right? What you're bringing into the 3D. There's not always a whole lot of like support, or at least the illusion of a lack of support. But here I can see very clearly that you have the ability to detoxify your environment and remove that venom. But it's a process of like, I guess, really stepping into your own agency and power and directing the energy that seems to be moving so fast, because there's so much inspiration and there's so much understanding and there's so much going on. And there's also so much that is nebulous, right? There's so much that is nebulous. So as you go forth on this journey, it's like, this is an overabundance of information. Like you could drown with this level of information, right? So how do we ground in what we know, whether or not it makes sense to us or the people around us, and in doing so, bring a steadiness, right, to it without slowing down necessarily, okay? I don't think that grounding necessarily has to slow you down. Okay. And so Spirit is saying here to find that balance. And so what we'll do now is I'll just pull some advice for you. There's one other deck that's calling to me, but I'm going to pull from I'm going to pull from our Prismavisions just for now. Okay, so let's get some advice for collective in grounding this energy. What can the tarot offer us? The Two of Swords, the Knight of Cups. Decide what you're doing. The Hierophant, yeah. Three of Wands, yes. Create a vision around what it is that you're offering. Like don't screw, like solidify it. Okay, solidify it. Put the seeds in the ground. What exactly is it, right? What exactly are you offering? Get clear on that, at least. Advice. Excuse me. So I have Seek coming out, but there's a card stuck to it. Oh, Give. Haha. Seek and Give. Yeah. At the bottom, we have Chaos. Let's get a little bit more. Yeah. What are you doing? Breathe. This is our life force. You know, this is how we ground without slowing down. You know, this is how we create a steady efficiency. Things are going to be moving really fast. Like, you know, if you are someone who pays close attention to astrology, you might be aware of this, that like we've kind of known about like the speed that we're moving in the beginning of this year, right? Like we've had heads up, or at least I have, and I feel that some folks in this collective possibly have had that. But like if this is new information for you, that's totally okay. But I will say that like this was written, you know, this level of speed. So it's important that you connect with, you know, just as we look to the stars, you know, we look to nature to give us insight to our human experience. We can ground our practices in what is natural to bring our, you know, our manifestations, our ideas into nature, right? Into being in natural form, right? Into the 3D, right? Does that make sense? Test. Yes, this is very much a test. Rage. Using rage. How are you going to use it? Advice, please, Spirit, advice. Maybe just keeping in mind that this is a test. Observe. What is the rage teaching you? Shadow, open, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that explore, boundary, celebrate. Yeah, so I mean, I think that we can generally bring a lightness to our human experience, like at any moment. But given what I'm seeing here, the only way that you can really harness this energy and move it forward effectively is by kind of taking a good look at lessons that you have learned, or lessons that you have coming in a way that is loving and understanding of the reality that it is a test of strength, right? It is a test of will. And one of the best ways to kind of move past these tests feeling good about yourself is to understand your why. Understand why certain things happened, and that like you had certain reactions, and then understand the only way that you can do that is by knowing yourself, right? You know thyself, right? You know yourself really well. Then you can understand your reactions a little bit better. And understanding your why right now is really important, because there's so many seeds that are being planted at this time that will take root and obviously do have consequences, right? So anything we ask for, you know, I heard it put the other day, like the genie likes to play tricks. So anything that we ask for, you know, we have to accept the problems that come with it as well. So if you have a little spike of rage or confusion or frustration or whatever, check into why that happened. Why did you have the reaction that you had? Are you feeling disempowered at that time? And you know, what kind of feelings are coming up, and really taking a look at like your ability to observe those things, and kind of looking at it for science here, because you have, you know, very obviously you have something that you're working towards. So there's this like, you know, the grounded energy seems to only, you know, your ability to ground this creation into action, this creation into the 3D, seems to really be based in your ability to emotionally regulate, This is a lot of intensity. Yeah, wish coming out here. What are you wishing for and why? And what is spirit handing you on your way, like as an answer to that wish, right? What kind of tests are you receiving at this time? What is it telling you about yourself? Like, we don't ever experience tests in this life. You know, God, the universe does not give us a test unless we needed it. So why did God give you that particular test, right? And what can you learn about yourself from what came out of you in that test? Do you see? Right. Fear. Yeah. We're learning about ourselves so that we can slow down and create this thing. Knowledge of self, like, and this is just the truth, right? Knowledge of self is, you can't have any kind of spiritual power, or any like real sustainable success if you don't know yourself, right? That's why like entrepreneurs say that owning a business is a spiritual experience, and they kind of get to a point where like money is a spiritual experience. Your relationship with money, you know, that's why, you know, heal your relationship with money, la la. And you're going to hear more and more people talk about this, but it's like knowing yourself at this time, understanding, you know, the willingness to kind of see the fear and look past it for the sake of knowing that like the road will present itself when you take that first step. The net appears when you jump, right? So I want to encourage you to, like, where you see fear showing up in the coming days, it's important that you just be gentle with yourself in the face of it, because that fear is meant to serve you. There's something that you have to learn at this time. Okay? There's something that you are being asked to understand at this time, right? And all of that is propelling you towards the solidification of your desires. That's really it. This version of yourself that you're meeting, this entity on the other end that's saying, I've been waiting to meet you, right? This bridge that you see forming in front of you, either in the 3D or that I can see in the ethereal realm, and all of the bridges around you that are crumbling, you know, maybe, or strengthening, maybe, like all of that is happening to support you. And you can choose to see it that way, or you can choose not to see it that way, right? But at the end of the day, you ask yourself what you want. Why do you want what you are asking God for? Is it coming from a fear-based place, right? Because a lot of the bridges that are formed for you in the energetic realm are based on that truth and your awareness of that truth. Those of you who are kind of in the process of acknowledging where the poison is in your well, and walking alongside the devil like that, and really standing in your power in that process, you know, this key of knowing thyself, that is how, you know, what the devil knows himself. He knows who he is. He's the devil, right? Venom knows who Venom is, right? Like, you have to match that and feel proud in your ability to move forth on the land that you have, watered and fertilized and tilled all on your own. You have to be just as strong as this venomous energy that you are, you know, siphoning some nectar from, like it's helping you in some way or another, right? Yes. I'm not entirely sure if all of this made sense. I'm going to be so for real with you. I mean, like, a lot of it made sense to me, but sometimes when it comes out, it's, you know, but anyways, I adore you and I love you and thank you for being here. Please be sure to drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. These are free ways to support a growing channel. Thank you so much for being here. And I really hope that you got a good nugget out of this. Okay. Take care of yourself.